So during President Obama's visit to Vietnam,
President Obama went to Vietnam? I didn't
Come
see anything
on.
about that. Oh, okay, yeah.
okay, yeah, I mean, he addressed many issues, particularly one related to the arts. So I think that really captured my attention.
I couldn't believe that he
Yeah.
actually talked about that because there was
Yeah.
someone who brought up that issue at a town hall
At
meeting,
a town hall
right?
meeting, yeah. I
In,
think with about 850 young leaders.
In
the-
Ho Chi Minh
yeah,
City,
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
young
so let's
people in
take
Vietnam.
let's take a look at the question and get a little sense of how President Obama answered that question.
I see.
Hi, so I am a rapper here in
Are you a rapper?
Saigon, Vietnam.
Oh yeah.
So you have spoken a lot about environment and like politics and economic progress of Vietnam, but as an artist, we have a lot to say.
Okay.
We have message to say, and I want to know how important it is for a nation to really help and promote their art and culture and helps it to help its nation in the future.
Okay. Look, the arts are important. Artistic expression is important. It's what I was just saying to the filmmaker about stories that we tell each other. You know, music, poetry, representations of life as it is and how it should be. Those are the things that inspire people. You know, life is a combination of very practical things, right? You gotta eat, you gotta work, you gotta build roads and make sure that, you know, some dam isn't ruining a community. But it's also the spirit that we have inside of us and how is that expressed and what are our vision and what are our ideals for the future and how do we want to live together and how do we treat each other. And one of the most important things about art is it teaches you to not just think about yourself, but it puts you in the head of other people. So you start realizing somebody else's pain or somebody else's hopes, and you start realizing that we have more in common. So if I read a novel by somebody in Africa, now suddenly I understand more about how we are similar. And if I listen to a Vietnamese rap and it connects to the things that I'm feeling, now I feel closer to a country on the other side of the world. And that's how we build understanding, and that's how we end up being able to work together and plan together and build a better future together.
Yeah, the one thing I thought was interesting is, you know, when he brings up this idea that the arts put you in the head of other people and then allow you to kind of understand you have common concerns. And, you know, what in putting this conference that brings together academics and artists, our whole idea was the concerns that artists have are also the same things that academics research and talk about.
Yeah,
right.
and academics have been writing about those concerns.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, in many ways, there's this kind of common area where not only you can understand things through the arts, but through academics as well, as they all share common interests.
Through a dialogue, that is what.
Through dialogue of engagement.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, that was really cool that President Obama, you know, said those things and that the rapper Suboy asked it. But there was also one other thing that was pretty cool, and that was a request that President Obama had.
Why don't you give me a little rap? Let's see. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got.
Kết nối Việt Nam, kết nối tri thức. Ôi đầu quá vì làm người ta bực vì tri thức có lắm cách tiếp cận, mà nhiều cách tiếp cận khiến người ta vỡ mật.
Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Why don't you give me a little rap? Let's see. Let's see what you got.
Arts and academics, ain't just stuff. They're the ideas you need when you've had enough of the same stories going round and round, the same explanations that are unsound.
Come on. Do you need like a little beat?
Kết nối Việt Nam, kết nối trăn trở. Ôi sung sướng quá vì người ta cởi mở để trăn trở bay xa, cùng tri thức ý tưởng đồng hòa.
Do you need like a little beat? Do you need like a little beat? Come on.
You may be an artist, I may be a prof. That don't mean that we cannot talk about the same issues every day. Come on now, tell me what you gotta say.
Come on.
Engaging with Vietnam in Honolulu, y'all.
Come on. Why don't you give me a little rap? Let's see.
You may be an artist, I may be a prof, but every day we always talk about the same things every day. Wait, can't remember what I'm doing here. You may be an artist, I may be a prof,
But we deal with the same topics.
but every day, but every day we always talk about the same, but you know.
we have the same concern.
Right. You may, I may be a prof.
But our concern is
Wait, stop, I'm trying to remember. You may be an artist, I may be a prof, but that doesn't mean that we don't talk about the same things every day. Come on, tell me what you got to say. Okay.